This is Art Prevails Podcast, a show where we pick the minds of creatives of all kinds, from folks who combine paper and pen, put brush to canvas, to those who tell stories with their voices and create art with their dances. This be the show for artists, by artists, about artists, sitting around, shooting the breeze, talking about process and impact on the songs you keep looped on repeat. So pull up a seat, stay a while. This is gonna be a good one.
Hey, what's happening? It's Darius and
Nyah Hardman.
And this is the Art Prevails podcast. Nyah, man, it's the beginning of the year. What's happening besides all the craziness that's going on in the world? What's happening with you?
I know, right? The world is looking pretty crazy right now. But you know, new year, new me. Not really, but I still like that saying.
New year,
now, I still feel the same for the most part, but I do feel positive about this year. Everyone is saying that like 2021 is going to be better than 2020, and we're not going to have all the negative stuff. So I'm on that train. Even though the first couple days were a little rocky, I'm still on the train that it's going to be better. It's going to be a good year.
Okay, so you have 21-20 vision.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. That's like Superman vision.
It's more advanced than 2020 vision.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So I just, I'm wondering, what's going to happen just with the world, this country. It's kind of bananas right now. What's going on? That's illuminating in moments, also not surprising in others.
Right.
And it's all like it's like watching a Shakespearean drama or something. I'm watching like Macbeth.
Right. I just finished Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the whole Game of Thrones kick, and that's kind of what it felt like. If any of our listeners are living under a rock, the protesters, terrorists disguised as protesters, came and bursted their way into the Capitol building, and watching that just felt like a Game of Thrones scene, like when another city was attacking another city and they were just acting as savages and just taking what was theirs and just disregarding all rules and that stuff. So it does feel like a movie.
Taking what they feel was theirs, right?
Right.
And I think about it, I'm a literature theater buff, and so thinking about it in terms of like Shakespearean dramas and these things, and so there's often this like intrigue, and this sometimes you don't know who's on whose side, and this person had been conspiring with other people, and so we get to see that there's probably a lot of folks that are like part of the problem, part of the issue, to help bring a lot of this to fruition. A lot of the people, they're talking about Congress people being in on it,
right,
and all that kind of stuff. So it's crazy. And it's what's interesting and thinking about it in terms of like these the film and theater, that's thinking about the fact that we have our guest today is somebody who is right in that world, who is all about performance, who is both a vocalist, singer, songwriter, and theatrical, actress, actor, thespian, all of that good stuff.
Exactly. So this is right up her lane, hopefully.
I mean, we'll see. Maybe, hopefully, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if we're going to get too political or how political it gets, but I think we're going to let it flow and just see how it happens. So everybody, make sure you tune in and stay plugged in for this amazing conversation we're going to have with the super talented Miss Sheena O. Murray. Yo, welcome everybody to the Art Prevails podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Darius Daughtry.
And I'm Nyah Hardman.
And we are so very excited to have an amazing show today. For the next half hour, 45 minutes or so, we're gonna do our thing, which is we creatives speaking about creativity with other creatives. And we have an amazing creative with us today. She is multi-talented. She is a soulful, spectacular, amazing person. She happens to be a personal friend of mine, but that's not why she's on the show. She's on the show because she's just an amazing artist and creative soul. We have the wonderful Miss Sheena O. Murray.
Hey. Hi.
Hey, Sheena O. Murray. Sheena O. Murray is a vocalist, songwriter, and actress currently based in Atlanta, Georgia. Born in Jamaica, she moved to the US at a young age, where she discovered a growing passion for performance art and decided to pursue theater in high school at Dillard Center for the Arts in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. With a soulful, soft, and sultry sound, Sheena prides herself on her range as a mezzo soprano, her ability to hit highs, lows, and in-betweens. Stepping into musical theater, Sheena has landed roles as Lorrell in Dreamgirls, Em and Glinda in The Wiz, Medda Larkin in Newsies, and more recently, Rosa Parks and Walk On, the Story of Rosa Parks, which toured in the Eastern United States. Thank you for stopping by. Welcome, Sheena.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Cool. Yeah. Talk. You can talk now. You like, yeah. I don't have time.
Okay.
You're like, yeah. I'm in. I'm jumping in.
I was ready.
Right.
Sorry.
So how are you? How are you doing? What's new in your world?
I'm good. I am good. I was in Florida for like 2.5 months, just chilling. Then I came back to Atlanta. I released a new song on the 1st of the month, the 1st of the year, which is doing pretty well. I'm very excited about it. It's called Waste Some Time. Auditioning, heading back to Florida for some rehearsals, and just being my creative self.
Being your creative self. Dope. So Sheena, Nyah gave your bio. She gave you a little bio. We had to kind of, parse it down and cut some stuff out because it was like 18 pages long.
Yeah, it's long.
So
You've just done so much.
But I would love for you to let the people know a little bit, just about you. Like who is Sheena O. Murray, especially
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, we don't have that much time. But so the abridged version, that gives us a little more insight into who you are, maybe how you discovered your creativity. Wherever you want to go with it for a little bit. I'll tell you when to stop.
Well, I was very young when I realized that I loved music. I loved Whitney Houston when I was a kid. I wanted to be a singer when I heard her, but no one knew that I wanted to sing. No one knew that I could because I was really, really shy. So once I got into high school, I was like, well, I want to perform. So I did theater instead of music because I was just not confident about my vocal ability. So I did theater, loved theater, but then like after school, I'll be writing with my friend Tron, actually, who produced my new single. So we've been friends for a long time, but so we would write and he would produce, I would write. And this was all after school in high school. And then I was in like a girl group, but still doing theater while I was in school. And then after high school, I was like, you know what, I want to pursue a solo career as a singer. So I was in and out of studios. But life kind of gets in the way of sometimes of your dreams. So I kind of put my endeavors on the back burner. I was still writing and I was still doing things, but I wasn't performing. I really started performing like maybe 6 years ago, performing my own music, but I was still recording, but I wasn't out. People didn't know what I was doing. I was always kind of, I don't know, insecure maybe. Got over that. Music is my number one. And I got into acting about 3 years ago got back into acting.
I was going to say that because you started acting.
Yeah, I started with acting, yeah. But it wasn't something that I wanted to really actually pursue. It was just something I knew I could do. But then someone was like, you should audition for this show. And I'm like, I don't have any professional experience. All my experience was in high school. Even though we performed at the Broward Center, all of our plays were at the Broward Center. It was semi-professional, but
it's the Dillard Center of Performing Arts. So it's all y'all think y'all professional over there.
Professional.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen a few Dillard productions, and it's pretty professional.
It's
pretty professional.
But in my mind, it's like I hadn't gotten paid. So in my mind, it's like I'm not, as an adult, I hadn't been out in the scene, in the acting scene. But I auditioned and I got a lead role, and I was like, oh, wow, okay, I can do this. So I can fuse my music and my acting and do musical theater.
What was that? What was that first show?
That was Dreamgirls. That was Dreamgirls. You saw that, didn't you?
I did.
Did. That was such a great experience. It was a long run. That show ran for a long time. So it really built me. Like, it strengthened my singing ability. And it was a wonderful and amazing time. And I absolutely fell in love with the experience. And I was like, you know what? I want to do this. This is what I want to, if I'm able to still sing, I can do the acting as well. So I fused it, but it's still separate at the same time, because I'm still doing my, original music and recording artistry.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, is there, like, right now today, does one have a higher place in your heart or mind?
Music, my songwriting, that it has a higher place. They both serve such different purposes, because with my recording artist, as a recording artist, I have to worry about so many things. I have to worry about what I'm going to wear. I'm going to have to worry about marketing. I have to worry about all these different things. But then when I do theater, I ain't got to worry about nothing. I just have to show up. I just have to show up as the artist. I just have to show up as the talent. And it takes so much pressure off of me. But on the other hand, I like to be in control. So I like to be in control of what I'm going to wear and what I'm going to look like and what I'm going to sound like and where I'm going to perform. So music definitely is the higher up on the hierarchy.
And then, but since you do both and you do have a passion for both, have you found ways to, like, take techniques that you've learned in theater arts and apply it to your music? Absolutely. And vice versa? Yeah.
Yes, it's such a benefit doing theater, because, I mean, it's live. It's not like television where you can cut and do it again. Theater is kind of like, well, this is it. This is that one time to get it right. And so it's helped my ear as far as staying on pitch. It's helped me be more expressive as far as when I write and when I perform. So it always feels like a, I don't know, it helped me be more passionate. It helped me express more. It helped me just strengthen me so much as an artist, as a performing artist. Theater did.
Cool. Yeah. So then, that's why I'm both a theater artist and a singer as well. So okay, I was waiting for Nyah to say something. Okay,
cool. I'm trying to be nice this year. Cool. It's my resolution.
New year, new you. New year, new you.
New year, new me.
Yeah. So with the idea of it being live, of theater being this live, and you having a full kind of connection and experience and engagement with the audience and that energy back and forth. And the same thing, right, as a singer, right, when you perform live, right, it's this back and forth that you, a mutual exchange between you and the audience. How are you feeling now? Because you haven't been able to do that for, almost a year. How are you feeling?
It's tough. It's tough because when at the beginning of all this and everybody decided to, turn everything virtual, I was down for it, but it doesn't move me the same way that it would if I was live on stage. So I'm kind of reluctant to do virtual things now, because it doesn't, I know that it's useful because, I'm still exercising my voice and my talent. But at the same time, the exchange is really important. That human connection that you feel when you're performing in front of people, it is just as important as being an artist itself. That connection, it's tough. So it's been tough. It's funny because right before the whole quarantine and everything started going crazy, I was on tour. So it's almost like, well, maybe the universe was gearing me up for this drought, because I was so busy and I was going from state to state and hotel to hotel, but and theater to theater. but it's still it's still not enough. Like I cannot wait for things to go quote unquote back to normal because I miss it.
Right. I agree 100%. That's the one thing that I miss, that human connection. I kind of miss performing, but even just in life, just seeing people, I miss being on campus and just seeing people and talking about their stories and that stuff. So I agree 100%.
Not being scared to stand beside people.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I guess you're not going to the inauguration then, because there's gonna be a lot of people there.
Oh gosh, yeah, no.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna sit that one out.
Even before COVID, I wouldn't have gone.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
Get out my face. Get out my space. My face. Just get off me. Like it's so funny though, because like I'm kind of like that too. Like though I love that human interaction of like a performance and that's that, but in like regular life, you know what I'm saying? I'm like why are you so close to me, man? like I don't like I don't even know you like that. Like why are you close? Like and again this is before I got like I'm cool with this whole 6 feet thing. For people I'm like I'm cool with it. So now people I was in the store the other day and I was like I was trying not to say anything to this person because I looked back and she was like real close to me. I was in line. I'm like, why are you so close? And I looked back and she didn't notice me looking. So I just kind of stared at her for a while. And then like, oh man. And I looked at the ground. I looked at her, then I looked at the ground, where the stickers are on the, and she like looked and she like rolled her eyes and took a couple steps back. That's all.
Aggression. It should be alright.
That's all I need is you just go and just step back. I don't care. Yeah.
Why they want to be so close to you? That's crazy.
I mean, though, I understand. I get it. So, go ahead, Nyah.
I was just gonna say, so as an artist in this new isolated quarantine world, what are ways that you have kept sane and kept yourself from losing your mind?
Well, I started to, but there's a painting behind me. So I did my first time doing like a self-portrait.
Oh wow.
I've been writing.
Wait, let's see it. Where is it? Let's see it. Is it finished?
No.
I know you're working on it before.
Yeah, it's not
finished. And this is not great at all for those who are listening to us on that's the podcast. But show it because we have the video as well. So okay.
So, this part is like messed up. I gotta fix that. But so I was painting at the beginning of the quarantine. I'm working on an album, so I've been writing. What else have I been doing? Redecorating like every day because I'm in the space so much. It's like I always see something wrong. I'm like, I gotta move that over here and that over there. And I'm trying to get back into meditating, but meditation has helped keep me sane and balanced. And but mostly it's just creative stuff. Mostly trying to express some pent up things somehow, put it on paper or canvas.
So how have you found that during this time? So has it been easier or more difficult, or like during this time of being in isolation and locked up, and like more so like forced isolation and locked up, right? As opposed to, I don't want to be around people, so I'm just going to, be by myself, right. As opposed to like, I can't. Like, have you found, for me, because at one point, like I was feeling, there was like an anxiety and my actual creativity wasn't really enacting, like it wasn't coming. It was like a little schism between me and being creative and expressing in that ways. So have you found that?
Well, I found it initially, I found it easy. Like at the beginning, very beginning, I found it easy because I'm like, well, I just got off a tour. I want to break anyway. I need to be, away. But then the longer this has lasted, it's more like, oh my God, like, did you kind of need the break in between the need to express yourself creatively and the real world. And so there's no break in between. So it's kind of like, I felt like I was on all the time. And I think I crashed and burned because my mind just kept going from, okay, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. And also you see the pressure of people on social media saying, well, if you didn't learn this during quarantine, then blah, yeah. I'm like, no, everybody's trying to cope. We're trying to make, we're trying to survive. This is a like really crazy time. And I was trying to block all that out. I'm like, I'm so anti that. Don't force yourself to be productive. It needs to come. You should definitely be disciplined in your creativity, but you should not force yourself to conform to other people's ideals or way of living or coping.
Right.
Like, you shouldn't force yourself to do that. So, but yeah, it was easy at first, and it became a little bit difficult. And now I'm kind of on the side where it's becoming easy because I'm giving myself grace. I'm not forcing myself to be productive every day. If my brain feels like it needs a break, I'm gonna take a break. And when I turn on, I turn on. I turn off when I need to turn off.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I think having those guidelines, I was just going to say having those guidelines are especially important, that you're creating at your personal standards rather than for anyone else or for any other audience, or because you think that you should be creating or expected to create right now. But, just do it when it feels right for you. I like that.
And I feel like if you rush it or if you force it, you're not going to give your best self or your best stuff. It's going to be inauthentic.
That's true.
Cool. What about, so like you're doing your album, and so like, is there a differentiation between you say, I'm working on this album and this is for this, and then you just, I am just being creative because I want to create, because I feel a need to create, and because I was having a conversation the other day with somebody about how as artists, it's very interesting once we decide that art is our career, that our creative passion is our career, right? And so now there's like all these milestones or these things that we have to do in order to make sure that we eat, in order to make sure that we are climbing a ladder toward a certain place, as opposed to, oh, here's this poem. I just want to write this poem because I feel like this poem and that's it. Or I just made this song up. I want to just do this painting, right? And so I can spend hours or whatever doing this painting without thinking about how this is going to present to the world, how people are going to receive this. Is it going to go up the charts? Can I monetize this, right? And so it becomes this kind of battle. And so like with you, saying you've been in this very creative space, but also like working on your album, what have you experienced in that space, in that realm?
Well, the good thing about being an independent artist is that you set your own deadlines. So while I do know when I want to put the album out and when, we should start, the recording the other songs, it's still up to me. So I can let it flow instead of forcing myself to like this little timeline. So it doesn't feel like I'm, oh my God, I'm creating this album. It still feels like a fun or enjoyable thing because I'm not being pressured. It's to do it. It's up to me. So it still feels like a creative thing where I'm just like, if I feel like changing a verse or changing a melody, then I just feel like doing it. And it still feels like, you know what I'm saying? It still feels like a fun thing. It still feels like I don't feel the pressure or like I'm under a boulder or bright spotlight.
Wow. So since you found that you've gotten into that creative groove where you're working at your own pace and at your own standards, what does that creation process look like? Like, do you have to record at a specific place where you're comfortable? Do you have a favorite place to write? Do you have favorite clothes to wear when you're recording?
I don't. I'll write anywhere. Sometimes I'll be in the car driving and like a line just pops up in my head and I'm like, oh, I could use this for a song. And I put it in my notes on my phone. I'm not very specific, but I do prefer to be, you know, in front of my laptop. And what I do usually with my writing process is I record as I write, so that I know what it's gonna sound like. So it's always gonna be a rough draft. It's gonna be a rough draft as I'm recording, I'm singing, and, you know, putting the notes together. So that number one, I know what it sounds like, and number two, once I get into the studio, it's in and out, so that I'm not spending a ridiculous amount of money on studio time, because I already know what the song is gonna sound like. But yeah, I just, you know, be comfortable.
So are you a melody first person or a words first person?
I am very words focused.
Focused like.
I was gonna say wordsy, but
wordsy. I think wordsy is perfect. That's a perfect word. Yeah.
That's actually really interesting though, because I don't write music, so I don't have much of a say, but I would think it would be easier to find the melody and then find the words to fit into that melody. So it's interesting that you have the words that come to you first.
And I think that sometimes it kind of creates a barrier, because I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna say, as opposed to just letting the melody flow. But yeah, I'm very, because I actually started writing poetry before I started writing music. So I've always been a lover of words. So what I'm gonna say is really important.
Do you think someone who is a poet, because I've had this conversation, because I've written some songs with some people, but then, you know, I'm a poet, I'm a playwright, you know, I've written short stories, I've got like 13 half-written novels, you know, I've written some screenplays. So when I've written songs, the songwriters, the people this is what they do, they're like, yo, man, that's too many words. They're like, yo, that's too many words. They're like, I'm like, I'm just saying what I feel, man. I'm saying what I feel, you know? So do you think it is like someone who is a poet, but is not a singer? So I think because you are a singer, right, and you sing and you work with music just normally, that writing a song may be easier than someone like myself, though I sing and I have a great voice, but I'm not around here singing like that. And, you know, so do you think it's easier, or actually, and this is maybe like even a selfish question, how do you think maybe someone like myself may approach writing songs as opposed to poetry?
I'm not sure if it's easier or harder. I think it's just like anything else. The more you do it, the easier, or easier it gets for you. Because I think when I first started writing, I was very wordy too. I had to learn to dial back on the amount of letters that I'm putting into a song. But I think that the more you do it, the more you realize that it's kind of a formula. It's kind of a way to express what you want to express without being wordy. You just have to pay attention to what's already there as far as other music and make it work for you. But yeah, I can see you writing songs. Are you kidding me? You gotta take some words out.
Can you see me writing songs? Can
just writing them?
No, can you see me writing songs?
Yeah.
And this is kind of an inside conversation that we're having for everybody right now. Can you see me writing songs?
I mean, no, because you're not actually writing a song at the moment.
Yeah, no, right. So I mean, this is an allusion to, you know, some previous conversation that you and I have had about writing. And, you know, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I'm not salty.
Oh, you're putting me on the spot.
I'm not salty.
You sound a little salty.
I'm not salty
a little salty
about it, but we're supposed to be writing some things, and then, you know, I don't know what happened. I don't know.
The problem with me, right? And I'll say this for the world to hear. I'm so used to doing things on my own that reaching out to other people to get creative input is actually really difficult for me. and it's not something I don't want to do. Like I feel like a collaboration is really important because there's so many elements that you can, you know, get from other people that you probably never find it on your own. But when I get into my zone, I don't really think about
anybody, Darius, at all. Yes, for sure. I don't think about you, sir.
Specifically.
Yeah, I don't think about you. I ain't think about you. I ain't think about you. It's okay.
So, because I've sent you the song. Remember I sent you a song? And I was like, hope. And then you gave me an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember that. Right. I do.
So it's not like I ain't utilize you.
Okay, cool.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, nah, I don't know. That was like in 2018 or something. You know, so.
Oh, I think it was in 2018.
It might have been in 2018. Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
no, but I do feel what you're saying. I find myself being greedy with my art as well. Like I don't like sharing, or I see the beauty in collaboration, but I do find it difficult. I have to push myself to do it because I like control and I like, and especially when it comes to my art, but I definitely kick myself in the butt when I see how many beautiful things I create when I do just, you know, suck it up and collaborate.
Right.
It's just hard.
I think it's also an ego trip for me too. It's like, well, I'm like, if I can create this amazing thing by myself, I can get all the credit. I'm being real. But yeah, there is beauty in collaboration. So
right.
What do you sorry, Nyah. Sorry. Apologize. I'm gonna go ahead.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go ahead and keep talking though.
Go ahead.
What do you find yourself working on and creating? Like what do you write about certain things, certain topics? I mean, we know you, from what I hear of the music that, you know, that I've heard from you, you know, you're like a softie, you know, romantic love songs and stuff, you know.
That's the essence of my soul. So I write from that place. I can't force myself to compete with hip hop and write about things that are contrary to my character.
What was it? Tell me more. Tell us more.
And I brought that up because I feel like a lot of R&B is competing with hip hop. I feel like a lot of the topics, I don't know, I don't know if it's progression or if they're competing, because it could be like we're progressing where we don't have to be as vulgar anymore. Or not to be as vulgar. We're progressing where we can be as vulgar as hip hop. But for me, like the root of R&B is kind of, it's not the root of R&B. For me, I like things to be true and I like them to be real, but I also like to live in this little fantasy where it's pretty and it's clean or it's expressed that way. It doesn't necessarily have to be. I was gonna say some things, but I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say.
What you mean? You're allowed to say whatever.
Like I'm gonna sit on his dick, and I'm not singing. I'm not gonna do that.
You're not gonna do that.
Not that way.
You're not gonna sing about it. You're not gonna sing about it.
Way. I might sing about it, but not that way.
Okay.
I feel like the beauty of words and of songwriting is, you know, using metaphors and similes, and it doesn't have to be so in your face. I don't have to feed you what I'm saying. I'm gonna make it in a way that makes you think about the words that you're singing, you know, like. And I feel like a lot of music lately has been the opposite of that.
Right. So you like to play in
I like to play
in subtlety and innuendo and things.
I think it's fun.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
The audience gets to take whatever they want to take from what I'm saying, as opposed to me feeding it to them. And this is the only way that they can take it.
And is that something you're continuing with your most recent project that you're working on now?
Yep. Definitely gonna continue being myself and expressing myself the way that I feel like my music should be expressed.
Tell us about the project. Is there anything that you can tell us about the project?
Well, this is the intent for this project is to, because a lot of people see me, but they don't really see me. That's because I'm not revealing myself as much as I probably should. So it's gonna be a very honest project. Or it is a very honest project and expressive, and it's gonna be more fun. Um, it's not gonna be all ballads.
What?
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, some of it is gonna be some not necessarily experimental songs, but songs that you've never heard, like you wouldn't expect from me, I should say. Um, but this is gonna be all the songs are produced by Tron Lepet of Beatnomics. He's the person who also produced the first single from the album. And we've been friends since like elementary school. So he knows me musically. He gets me musically. So I'm excited that he put this together, and this is our what's the word? Our baby.
Baby. Oh, like mama and daddy. Like it's a mama and daddy
Yeah.
coming together.
Music mom.
Music mama and daddy
Yeah.
coming together, making love and having a baby.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
You made it a little weird.
No.
But
That's, I mean, but it is though. Like, so just extending the metaphor, right? Thinking about coming together, right? Having a deep relationship, which allows you to come together and you are connected and you know each other. And I do think creation is love, like acts of creation are acts of love.
Okay.
So you guys are coming together in a symbiotic nature. You're creating, you're making love, and then what you're producing is this baby, is this new being that's being put out into the world to flourish and to grow and to do things.
I'm nervous.
What you mean? You're a parent. You're gonna be a parent. You're a parent.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure. I changed my mind.
Ain't no pressure. No pressure. So you talk about your the first single.
Oh my God.
Waste some time.
I love that song so much. Waste some time. It's doing well. It's doing well. The first week of its release, the first week of debut, it was on Amazon charts on UK and US. So that was exciting. Like, what?
Nice.
Like, what? Y'all listening? Y'all buying my shit? People really like it, and it feels so good. It feels really good. The song is about, I guess, intimacy as a pastime, and as far sexual intimacy with your partner as a pastime. I'm kind of convincing him to come over. Like, you ain't got nothing to do. I ain't got nothing to do. Won't you come over and we, do what we do?
Watch movies.
Watch Netflix and chill.
Netflix and chill. Yep. That's
But
real nice.
there's so many different ways that you can create intimacy, though. It doesn't have to be sexual. You can play a game together. We can
Connect four. That's how I. Intimacy is Connect Four, or Scrabble, or one-on-one Taboo.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Hell, you could even sit and read a book, and I read a book, and we just sit and be in each other's presence.
That's true.
Waste some time.
Waste some time.
But it could be all of that.
But
that's not what you wrote about.
That ain't what I'm talking about. I think one of my favorite lines in the song, and I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, but I say, I just want to know if you want to come over. And so that's kind of like the play on words that I was talking about. Like, yeah, I'm talking about orgasm.
I'm saying though,
But I want you to come over.
Oh,
it's a double entendre.
It's not.
I see what you're doing.
Okay. So that seems pretty direct. That seems pretty direct there. I mean, yeah, but maybe you're saying you do that when you come over.
No,
Yes, yeah. That's
I mean, well, yeah. See, it
yes.
could be that. See,
Right.
It's open to interpretation,
Yeah,
double
pretty.
meaning.
Yes.
It's I think it's pretty direct. I think if someone like said to me on the phone, if they just said that exactly what you just said to me on the phone, there would be really no confusion about what we're talking about. It's pretty direct. It's pretty like, yeah. I'm like,
It's a
like,
suggestion.
what do you really mean by that? What do you mean? I'm not sure. What are you saying?
Want to come over?
Yeah. Cool. Well, dope. So you mentioned being a poet. And so I've read some of your stuff. I've seen some things you've put out in the world via social media and stuff. And I'm always like, man, yeah, she's such a good writer. So I've read some of your uh what I would call maybe little vignettes or short stories, that you put out. And I do think that there is something very intriguing about you as a writer. And have you, or do you think about writing for others?
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought about that. Yeah.
yeah,
But right now, I'm really trying to work on my focus because there's so many things that I want to do, and writing. People are so funny. Writing.
We're on a podcast right now. I don't know if you know that. I don't know if you know. I don't know if you know that, but we're in the middle of a podcast. But
You be like people on Front Street.
I'm just saying, I just want to make sure you were aware.
But yeah, I started writing a novel. Like I intend to have to be published as a writer. As far as songwriting, I would love to write for other people. There's really no excuse. It's just a matter of focus and trying to make everything that I want to do fit into a day.
yeah, no doubt. So what about this novel? What's this novel about?
I'm not really sure yet. I'm kind of free writing, but I think from my beginning thought is going to be about a woman dealing with suicide ideation.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And since you're
Black woman at that.
Oh,
wow. That's really interesting because that's not something talked about a lot. Mental illness and suicide and Black people.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to read it personally. Since you do explore so many different ventures of art though, like you're in musical theater, music, novel writing, poetry, do you take inspiration from anyone in any of those genres and do they help you create? Personally, I've been listening to the Jasmine Sullivan album on repeat, so that's been my personal inspiration these past couple of weeks.
Oh my gosh. Well, I will say that Mr. Darius Daughtry inspires me as far as writing.
Wait. You mean me?
Oh, you can't see it, but I have a book sitting right there that I just told you how much I loved it.
No.
Yes. As far as musically, like I've always loved Whitney, Indiari. I really like Jasmine Sullivan is a phenomenal vocalist. So she's definitely in the way that she's come into her sound. Mm-hmm. Definitely inspiring. I did listen to the album. I did enjoy it. And I like her. As far as new artists, I like her. I like the male artists too. I like Lucky Day, Davison. I call him DVSN, but whatever. I guess it's Davison. I'm not sure.
Is that his name? I don't know.
Oh, Division. I'm pretty sure it's Division.
Davison, David Sampson.
I call him DVSN. I was like DVSN. I'm like
DV Son.
I like him.
That's a great lineup, though.
Corinne Bailey Ray. I think that a lot of people don't listen. Well, not a lot of people. She's not very mainstream.
I mean, our last guest, Marnino, he talked about Corinne Bailey Ray.
Oh, she's so good. Her last album is a masterpiece.
Yeah, nah, she's dope. I like her a lot.
But yeah, and I gather inspiration from real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I know you write about love and stuff.
Yeah.
With all the tumult and turmoil, going on, do you find yourself writing about any of that?
I don't. And I'm not really sure why I don't. I think I try to, because I live kind of like in this fantasy world. So maybe that's what it is. Like when I write, I kind of want to be away from reality in a sense. Even though I pull from reality, I pull from certain aspects of reality. I don't really pull from, political angst and stuff like that. Sometimes I wish I was that person that wrote about that, but I don't feel it. I feel it as far as the pain, but to translate it on paper is just not something I incorporate in my music. I'm more on the romantic side. I just like to write about love.
Mm.
Yeah, you don't do it yet. You don't do it yet.
I don't do it yet.
Yeah. So I think about my daddy Marvin Gaye, and
what's going on.
Yeah. So it's like, that album, when he did that album, like, Barry Gordon was like, what the hell is this? Like, what you doing? This is not Marvin Gaye. This is not this is not, you are the crooner. You are the love, sexy, God, that's what you're doing. It's like, but he's like, nah, this is what I'm feeling. This is what is there.
Yeah,
and so
maybe I'll get there.
Yeah. So it wasn't, something that was at the top of his list when he was, putting out hit after hit, but he's like, yo, this is, what's going on, mother.
Mm-mm. I'm trying to be nice. Come on, you gotta help me out.
Singer,
brother. So, Nyah, I'm sure you did, but you asked, did you ask Sheena if she's going to share a little something with us today?
Yes. Are you prepared to give us a little something, a little song?
So, or a poem, or both. But before, so prepare yourself for that. So while you're preparing, here's our question. You can ask the question this time. Go ahead, ask her the question, Nyah.
Okay, so we have a very important question. Before you go, we have to ask this to you. We ask all our guests here on the show, and then here it is. The year is 2085, okay? Set the scene. And all music is being deleted from our world. So we are entering a musicless world. Luckily, you are given the exclusive opportunity to save exactly 3 songs on your futuristic 2085 iPhone, iPad. So which 3 songs would you pick? And these are the only 3 songs you can listen to for the rest of eternity, forever and ever.
Holy. Waste Some Time by Sheena O.
That's a good one.
Solid pick.
Oh my gosh. Anything by Indiari. Let me see. Let me give you a specific one from her. It's so hard. Why you guys do this for me? Oh my gosh! Wow. Let's do. This Too Shall Pass by Indiari. Oh yeah, that would actually be a good one for that time frame. That's horrible. And Wanna Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston.
All right.
Love that song. Lots of joy.
So for the rest of your life, you have Wanna Dance with Somebody by Whitney, This Too Shall Pass by Indiari, and Waste Some Time by Sheena O. 3 songs. Final answer. 3 songs for eternity. All right, here we go. Sounds great.
That's really tough.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool though. It's a mix of everything, right? We got a little romance, but then like a little poppy, upbeat dance romance, a little sexy time romance, and then, some hope and inspiration to get through, the day and the life and the things that are going on. So you should be straight.
Yeah.
You'll be all right.
Yeah, I'll be okay.
All right. So
Well, I
you,
found
read,
a poem.
you found a poem. Okay. Wait, we don't get to hear you sing. So
You're the one that said or a poem. You literally said.
I'm choosing a poem because it's not something I usually do.
okay. So great. So I mean, yeah, we want this poem, but we also won't be mad.
Okay.
Like if after you finish the poem, you just kind of hit us with maybe a verse or something,
Okay.
or something. All right. So everybody, we have had an amazing time here. It's been great chopping it up with the ever talented Miss Sheena O. Murray. Remember, on the Art Prevails podcast, we need you. We need your support. We need your love. So make sure that you are subscribed. And make sure you are commenting and reviewing and rating 5 stars on that thing. Don't give us 4, give us 5. Don't be that person that's going to give us 4. And if you give 3, somebody gonna come to your house and knock on your door and ask you questions about that thing. So give 5 stars for real and share it on whatever platform. Share with your folks. If you have any questions or any ideas or comments that you want to make personally, just shoot us a message at info@artprevailsproject. But without further ado, the next voice you shall hear is the talented creation of Miss Sheena O. Murray, the soon-to-be parent of a baby album, or an album baby.
Gravesite. I haven't been here in some time. It is too painful to visit this gravesite. But flowers in hand, I plead with glossy eyes for forgiveness of my neglect. It's been years of sweeping dirt under mat. It's been years of rumors going around in my mind that I'm okay. I think I needed to see you this way. Maybe to tell you that I've grown, how I can recall weights drooping my shoulders and furrows in my brows, that I've bookmarked our chapter and revisited time and time again, but it's been years. How is it now that I can find glory at your headstone? Maybe I needed to tell you that I can breathe again, that the air became thinner during my ascent, that my lungs nearly collapsed, but I survived. It's been years. You have hurt me for a lifetime, but I can now think your name and not wince. I've watered many a garden with my collected tears, and these flowers I picked just for you. This feels like a dream, this reality. Wish that I could wake up from this nightmare that I'm living. Want this to be over. I'm dying to be free. Wish that I wasn't so deep in. Please just let me be. I'm imprisoned by your love, and I'm sentenced to life. I don't want to be without you, but I want you out my life. This up and down, this merry-go-round, I'm dizzy, my head spinning, but I'm on a high, don't really want to get down. Said I'm on a high, don't really want to get down.
So tell us, where can we find you? Where can the people find Sheena O. Murray?
You can find me at my official website. It's lovesheenao.com. I'm on Instagram at Sheena O. Murray, Twitter at Sheena O. Murray, Facebook at Sheena O. Murray.
Cool.